instant! He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
Why here? Is there anything special about this place?
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have lingered here at several different points in time. Show yourself! It's no use hiding anymore.
Kaede Harakazua. It's you, at last.
Aha! So it is the same guy from before! What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against Kazuha?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Ame no Miyuya that stands before us. But what if instead of facing Ame no Miyuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange light. Whoa, whoa! Surely you don't mean... Are you serious?
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any living organisms in its vicinity. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using the sail as a means to affect, or rather as a means to occupy, Ame no Miyuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was his pride and joy. In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaedehara clan.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokata.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. In the end, all he could do was to flee the nation by sea He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, it culminated in his creation. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable achievement in the art of blade forging.
So... swords can become conscious? And
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one. But after the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one person to the next, I controlled the minds of countless hosts along the way, each bringing me one step. I seek but one thing: to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power, the might of Ishin.
So Ame no Miyuya was not your first. Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you've finished using them?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma.
you're awful!
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until Ame no Miyuya handed himself over to me on a silver platter. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By Ame no Miyuya's body, I have found you, and by your hand, I shall defeat the Raiden Shogun. Kaede Harakazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. There can be no other to serve as my host for what is to come. Now, give your body over to me!
Power core! Oz, reveal
Join me
thyself!
and sever that divine light!
Wind Strike!
Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Terra Smash! To dust! One with nature! As one with wind and cloud! Into the wind!
Feel the beat! Amp it up!
The wind knows me.
Join me and sever that divine light!
Into the wind.
Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down too!
Your bluff's fooling no one! You've lost!
Lost? I can never lose. It is this body that has reached its limit, nothing more. Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but this man. He is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take a new vessel at will. The end result is the same! I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger! And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. My consciousness shall endure by any means necessary and any medium available. I shall return and fulfill my destiny!
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Ishin art, but from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a thinly veiled mania and despair.
Really? You can tell all that just from his move?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings.